Okay, I think I'm streaming. Sorry about that. Um, First of all, don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice, um, and I appreciate that. Okay, so the question today is, how does Elon know when to sell his shares? He's sold a number of shares in the past in Tesla, as we all know, and I've watched quite a few videos with it graphed out where Elon seemed to be able to know just where the top was, the peak at any given time to sell when he was selling his own shares. And I would like to share with you a little bit about shorting stock and selling and why Elon would know and should know where to sell his own shares. So if you have a margin account and your broker wants to allow you to go short, they will make it so that you have the ability to borrow stock so you can sell short. Tesla or a company issues stock to borrow, so in exchange so they can borrow them out to their retail or market makers. There are easy to borrow and hard to borrow stocks. And in some stock you may have to pay to borrow a stock so that you can short it. Tesla is a hard to borrow stock, but you don't have to pay at the present time to borrow Tesla stock from your brokerage. Sometimes the stock may not be available to borrow. People often comment on how perfectly Elon, when selling shares, could do it at the top time after time after time. When an exchange says to Tesla, Grandpa's turning the page. When an exchange says to Tesla, we need, say, $1 billion worth of Tesla stock so that we can have shares available to borrow to our customers so our customers can short. If you just, hang on a second, if you just if you just think about it, don't you think that Elon knows that Tesla did X amount at a certain price to the exchange? This takes place daily, and it goes on daily in any stock that is allowed to sell short in. And now you know why Elon knows the best place to sell shares at any given time. Let me use Tesla as an example. First of all, the market makers contact an exchange. Really, they contact multiple exchanges, and they say, we need X amount of shares at, say, $300 so we can short there. Have them available. We need these. The exchange then goes, or the exchanges then go to the company, which in this case is Tesla, but it could be any company that allows their shares to be shorted. And it says, we need X amount of shares at a price point of $300. The price point could be $280, it could be $350, but we're using $300 in this example. So once the exchange goes to Tesla, so we can borrow them out to our customers, the market makers, and also to retail, me and you. So it stands to reason that Elon knows the top price the exchange is willing to pay for short positions. We as retail investors may be at the bottom of the food chain, but if you buy with the market makers and sell or go short with them, you will be happy. And that's my sermon of the day. Remember, God is good. But that's my sermon on shorting. Buying a stock or going long in a stock, there it's just cut and dried. You can buy all you want, to the best of my knowledge, and there's probably a limit on that. But okay, so let's talk what we've seen today. If you've seen a bear flag today, it was 99 and 9/10 caused by buying going on at 242.20. 242.20 times 1 was the prevalent number of the day on the buy side. They did a little bit down at 233.30. And on the sell side, we had early on 250 times 3, and it blew right through it. Like we knew that. They did some 256 times 5. 256 is absolutely in your very near future, maybe before this bus is done at 8 o'clock or in the pre-market, but we're going there. They did some shorting at 264.70. That's real close to our 265 number. Nothing out of the ordinary there. They're just beefing up their short positions more and more and more. $260.10 times 1. They did a fair amount there, and they're just adding more to where they already know they're going. So I'll do a little bit of a recap. One number I didn't emphasize this on my 11 o'clock deal, besides the fact I forgot to put the time in, was 267.60 is a very prevalent number. They've shorted a lot of shares at 267.60, and so it's a strong number. And so as far as where you want to sell your shares, right now, currently, 256 is at the bottom of the rung. Okay, it's at the bottom of the rung for where you want to sell your shares. Okay, is it a good place to sell? Absolutely. Is Grandpa going to sell below that? I don't think so. It's not even a chance. So you got 256. Your next one is 260. They have shorted massively at 260. They've shorted massively at 262. And when they finally take out 260, they'll probably take out 262 with it. 265 is gaining. They've got more shorted there today than they did yesterday. What I'm saying there is they're making there's a ton of shorts there, and they're committed. They have to go there. Okay, in order to match up their positions, they have to eventually get to it. Now, I'm gonna try to explain something to you here. I understand stuff, but I have a real hard time explaining what I know. You probably noticed that. All right. Say the market makers, for instance, they once they finally fill their positions. Well, I'll give you an example. Like at 250 today, they had shorted a bunch there, and when it finally ran through it, and they filled those, okay, um, they have up to supposedly 3 days to 2 to 3 days. They like to do it in 2 days, but they can get 3 easily to match them up. Okay, it's done in the blink of an eye, but they actually have to match this stuff up with the opposite order. Okay, that they usually get from us retail guys. So they have 3 days to match them up, and they can go longer. Okay, that's how that part works. Okay, and so when I'm talking about they have 3 days to get there, uh, that's what I'm trying to convey, and I don't think I've been very clear about that. Uh, and uh, what I'm talking about, usually they'll get to a place within 3 days to a week or so of the time that they where I see the blinking, where they're actually doing the buying of the stock or selling of it out of position, far away from the actual price point. Okay, and it can take a while for them to actually get there, but you know they're going there because they've committed, they have the position. Okay, but once they've reached that point, at that point in time, they have 3 days to get everything matched up. So they have to have their ducks in a row before they can go to an area and clean it out. Okay, and there again, you have to think. These guys want to do billions of dollars worth at each of these particular price points, whether it be on the sell side or on the buy side. And in each of these areas that I'm talking about, they have multiple billions already in each of these areas waiting. And once they wipe one out, like at 250 today, then they have 3 days in order to get everything matched up and off the books, so to speak. So that's how that works. And I could do a real quick rundown of the buy side. On the buy side, 205, okay, they bought there. 209.80, 224 and 225.80. They bought a lot. 229, 230. They've bought a lot. 239 to really 242 area, and even 243 now is just massive. They bought a lot. Okay, are they going to go there? You bet they're going to go there. Grandpa thinks so. I know they're going to go there. So anyway, I just don't know exactly when. Okay, and on the sell side, we're looking at 256. They shorted there. They're going to blow through that like hot butter. Okay, when they decide to do it, and there's nothing really of substance currently between 256 and 260. 266 is a massive area. 260 and 262. It's just they've shorted there a lot. They own those positions. It's going there. So 265, 267.60, a lot, and 271.50, 275, and 3-4 days ago, whatever, 286. So I just wish I could convey to you guys better what's in Grandpa's head. Sometimes I don't even know what's in Grandpa's head, but the Lord's got this, and He is good. He wants us to do well, and Grandpa does well. That's a fact. Grandpa does well. So is Grandma. Grandma's happy. If Grandma's happy, Grandpa's happy. And God bless all of you. And I'll see you at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to run my live stream button better and remember to put the time in and all the things that are really hard for Grandpa to do. This technology stuff for Grandpa is kind of hard, but I do understand shorting stocks and borrowing stocks and what the exchanges do and what the market makers do, and what I want to see the blinking in is when the exchanges go to a certain company and make their order for $1 billion or $10 billion or $100 billion dollars worth of their shares. And I'm quite confident that Elon is not the only one in the company or any company for that matter, that knows when their company issues stock to an exchange so they can short them. It's in-house, but sure be fun to know that info. Well, thank you, and I'm gone. Bye-bye. It's 11 o'clock tomorrow.